Welcome, wrestling warriors. You're tuned into Wrestle Watch Central, your daily dose of WWE. Hit that bell, and let's get started. Last night on Monday Night Raw, backstage tensions reached a breaking point when the mysterious hooded attacker resurfaced, this time stepping directly into Adam Pearce's office. Only moments after his silent interventions during Rey Mysterio and LA Knight's incidents, the masked figure confronted Pearce without a word. Instead, he left behind a single black glove and pointed toward the camera, sending an unmistakable warning aimed at CM Punk. With Pearce now entangled in the mystery, questions surrounding the Vision grow even deeper, leaving Raw shaken and uncertain. Night on Raw that shifted the entire mood of the show Monday night. Raw delivered yet another dramatic twist when the already tense atmosphere backstage took a sharp turn. For weeks, the WWE Universe has watched the mysterious hooded attacker move in silence, intervene during high-stakes conflicts, and appear at moments that seem far too precise to be coincidence. While speculation has grown about whether this individual is operating alone or supporting a group like the Vision, last night's events added a whole new layer to the mystery. What began as another chaotic night quickly evolved into something deeper, more symbolic, and far more unsettling, especially when Adam Pearce became involved in a way no one foresaw. The pattern of appearances that no longer feels random. Before the shocking confrontation with Adam Pearce, the hooded attacker was already a key figure in two tense situations earlier in the night. His presence struck first near Rey Mysterio, followed later by another sudden interruption involving LA Knight. While the exact intentions of these interactions remain unclear, the pattern has become impossible to ignore. Each moment seems designed to tilt the balance at critical times, suggesting a calculated mission rather than spontaneous behavior. This isn't someone who moves without thought. It's someone who studies the moment, waits for the right window, and chooses precisely when to act. The Vision's growing influence on Raw only complicates the situation, raising questions about whether this hooded figure is acting on behalf of something bigger or simply using their chaos to send personal messages. Adam Pearce finds himself at the center of an unexpected confrontation. The real shock of the night came backstage, where Adam Pearce, who has spent weeks trying to maintain order on a roster increasingly disrupted by outside interference, suddenly found himself staring directly at the hooded attacker. His office, usually a place where authority is clear, became a scene of eerie silence the moment the masked individual stepped inside. Pearce, known for addressing problems head-on, immediately demanded explanations. Who sent you? Why are you involving yourself in matches that don't concern you? Why target members of this roster? But none of his questions received even a hint of acknowledgement. Instead, the air in the room grew heavier as the attacker stood motionless, almost studying Pearce, as though the silence itself was the message. The stillness that said more than words. What made the confrontation unforgettable was not a clash or a raised voice, but the complete absence of either. The hooded figure didn't posture, didn't approach Pearce aggressively, and didn't attempt to justify previous actions. Instead, he lowered his head slightly beneath the hood, keeping only his eyes visible. That unbroken stare at Pearce carried a sense of intention, calculated, confident, and unsettlingly calm. It was the kind of silence that forces the other person to fill in the gaps, and Pearce, despite his position of authority, was clearly trying to read what wasn't being said. In a world where threats are usually delivered through confrontation or action, the lack of both made the moment even more chilling. The black glove, a symbol that raises more questions than answers. Just when it seemed the attacker might finally speak or react, he slowly reached into his coat and placed a single black glove on Adam Pearce's desk. No explanation, no gesture beyond that subtle movement. In WWE history, symbolic objects have always carried weight, a message, a warning, or the start of something new. The glove immediately became the focal point of the moment. Was it a sign, a signature, a declaration, or something directed not at Pearce, but at someone watching from afar? Before Pearce could interpret it, the attacker shifted his attention toward the camera, making the moment even more layered. A silent warning. Sent straight to CM Punk. The hooded figure lifted his hand and pointed directly at the camera lens, creating a visual message that spread instantly across the WWE universe. It wasn't random, and it wasn't meant for Pearce. It was a clear and deliberate signal aimed at CM Punk. Whether it was a challenge, a warning, or a declaration of future conflict remains to be seen. But the intention behind it was unmistakable. Punk, who has been central to numerous recent conflicts, suddenly found himself pulled into the narrative of this masked figure, raising questions not only about past confrontations, but about future ones that may now be unavoidable. This wasn't an attack. It was a proclamation that something involving Punk is coming. Pearce's reaction reveals the gravity of the situation. Even after the attacker exited the office without a word, the tension he left behind lingered. Adam Pearce stood at his desk, staring at the black glove as though it were a puzzle he couldn't yet solve. His expression made it clear that this wasn't just another moment of interference. This was a shift. Raw has dealt with ambushes, interferences, and rivalries, but rarely does the brand find itself in a situation where the intentions of an unknown figure reach so deeply into the roster's leadership structure. Pearce now finds himself in a position where he must respond, investigate, and prepare for whatever the hooded figure has set into motion. The Vision's shadow looms, larger than ever before. With the attacker repeatedly surfacing during moments tied to the Vision, fans cannot avoid wondering whether these events are connected. The Vision has spoken in riddles and acted with purpose, but this mysterious figure seems to operate with an independence that makes the situation more unpredictable. Is he their silent enforcer, an ally working from the shadows, or someone using their growing influence as cover for a personal mission? Until answers arrive, every moment involving the Vision will feel heavier, as though the hooded figure could appear at any time to tilt the scale again. What this means for CM Punk. Moving forward, with the pointed message delivered directly to CM Punk, the WWE Universe is now buzzing with anticipation. Punk, known for confronting danger directly and refusing to back down, will now have to decide how to respond to a threat he doesn't fully understand. Does he call out the attacker? Investigate the meaning of the glove? Prepare for retaliation? Punk has dealt with challengers before, but silent enemies are the hardest to predict. Without clarity, he must prepare for a confrontation that could arrive at any moment, in any form, especially now that the attacker has made his intentions publicly visible. Raw faces a new era of uncertainty. As the night came to a close, one thing was clear. Monday Night Raw is moving into unfamiliar territory. The presence of the mysterious hooded attacker is no longer limited to moments of interference. It has become a storyline affecting leadership, top stars, backstage morale, and the trajectory of the entire show. Adam Pearce has been pulled into the center of a conflict he didn't ask for. CM Punk has been directly challenged without a single word being spoken. The Vision stands at the center of speculation, and the WWE Universe is left with more questions than answers. Whatever comes next, it's clear Raw may never operate the same way again.